It is music by Alex Warren, right? Jonah FM at 90.0. You're still listening to Motswako Live. Welcome to the third. Stay locked in and make sure that you have your friends and family listen to this. In studio right now, we have Professor Petra Bester. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for making the time, and I really know that it's going to be a very fruitful chat that we're going to have. You are the operations lead for the Northwest University Desmond Tutu Medical School project, right? Just a brief introduction to our listeners of who you are, what you do at the Northwest University, as well as you can also send shout outs to your colleagues.
Wonderful.
Family.
Wonderful, thank you. Yes. So I research on chronic diseases and mental health issues in our local communities. And so sharing the medical school today really is dedicated to all.
Is to get to a point where the Northwest University launches a medical school. Just bring us into that, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't an easy journey.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm only part of the journey the past 3 years. But actually, as I explained, I was 2 years old when my father came to Potchefstroom.
Yes.
Recruited by the university to start the medical dissection unit. They wanted to start a medical school. That was in 1976.
Sure.
And so from 1976, it was on the table, off the table. And so it went on for 49 years. It's in the making.
And that's a long time,
Yes.
right? And now we finally reach a breakthrough, right? So what was the breakthrough moment? Why? How did we get to now the point where it is now decided that we're going through with this?
So I think the breakthrough moment was our leadership at the university that actually became very serious about it. And our Chancellor made an appointment with the Minister of Health. Saw the Minister of Health in 2022.
Yes.
And from there, it got really a lot of momentum. So I think our VC, Professor Bismarck Jubeka, and our Chancellor, Dr. Anna Mokokong, they took all the hard work being done and they just gave it that final push to get to the ears of those decision makers that had to open the doors.
And can you tell us about now when it finally the news come? Because now it was work of years of research and trying to have this thing happen. How was the feeling after the approval was made?
Yeah, so it's so amazing. It's sometimes difficult to believe what we've done, that it's now a reality. And there was so many, it's like waves that came in of good news.
Yes.
Because each and every little burden that we could overcome since 2022 was a celebration. But getting that final letter from the Minister of Higher Education at the beginning of this year, and then soon after that, the support from the Health Professions Council, then we know. Okay, this is it.
It's happening.
News are coming to Potch. People will start to see it. Will come in waves.
Oh, man.
It's here, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
And I think it wouldn't be very great not to ask this question, right? What motivated the university to, go for this new establishment of the medical school?
Yeah. So, the medical school, as other strategic ventures, have been on the agenda of our VC when he was still part of the University Council.
Okay.
And then when he became VC, he declared at his inaugural lecture that he's going to make this a reality.
Sure.
So it became a strategic project of the whole university. And so suddenly management, budgets, everything just aligned to work together to make it happen.
And you're mentioning that it was part of his agenda, right? While he was still part of the council and everything. It could have been anything else, right? But it was a push for the medical school. Why the medical school?
Now, I always tell people it's so in our own province.
Yes.
And then our own medical students, train our own students for our own health systems in our province, and that feel comfortable to be in the Northwest, to be in the smaller rural places, and to take out excellence to those very hospitals. Yeah, so this is very close to my heart because we want to be a medical school with a difference. So firstly, we will train absolute competent medical doctors. They will be able to register with HPCSA, study postgrad, become specialists. That part is there. But what is different? For us, we want to value compassion. We want to value doctors that can appreciate communities and that can actually be smart doctors, high-tech, but in rural communities.
Absolutely. And then we get into the name, right?
Yes.
Desmond Tutu. Why the Desmond Tutu School of Medicine?
Many people don't know that Desmond Tutu is actually a son of the Northwest Province.
I didn't know that.
So he was born.
Uh-huh.
He was born in an area adjacent to the Klerksdorp Hospital. He was a young boy when he had to be forcefully removed to a township. So his heart was always in Klerksdorp. Now,
Okay.
Klerksdorp Tsepong Hospital Complex is the main training hospital. That's where our doctors will spend their time, or our student doctors will spend their time to train. And it's next to the space where he was born and where he grew up. And so he grew up and he wanted to study medicine, did not have the resources, had to become a teacher. And then, of course, if you just think about his compassion, his focus on humility, his eager support of Ubuntu, and those values, we decided, those values is what we have to instill in our
Yes.
students. So for us, it became a logical thing to say Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Archbishop Desmond Mpilo Tutu. I mean, his second name is Health.
Yes.
Yes. Was actually born in the space where our students will train.
Sure. That's beautiful. So beautiful. And which other facilities have you partnered with outside of Tsepong?
Yes, so in our first year, students will work in clinics and communities in predominantly JB Marks Municipality, Ikageng Township and Ventersdorp.
Okay.
So there we have to work with all the communities from 2028.
From 2020.
Then next year, 2029, it will be in the clinics, going to Potch Hospital.
Okay.
From the students' 4th to 6th year, we won't see them here. They will be in Klerksdorp, they will be at Tsepong Hospital, year 4 and 5. Year 6, they go all over the province. Now we
Okay.
send them into the province. They work from Tahung to Mahikeng to Vryburg, and Wolmerandstad, and they work in a distributed training platform where they are the doctor student at a local hospital, but they also move to the clinics. They must understand the local community and how people move between clinics and hospitals. So that was predominantly our main focus was public health facilities, but we've also reached out to all the private hospitals and the private health practitioners also, because it's a whole ecosystem.
Yes.
Train medical students.
And you speak about 2028, 2029. So when will the inaugural class start?
Good. So this message is for our grade 10 learners. They must listen now closely because you will be our first experimental group, our grade 10 learners. We are preparing for you. You will be our first cohort enrollment in 2028.
Sure.
The grade 10 learners, we will also have a small space for graduates to enroll. But by 2028, you will see for the first time in Ikageng, students walking with the Desmond Tutu School of Medicine scraps on. Those will be our first medical students.
Oh man, now I wish I was, in grade 9. Imagine being part of such a great history, being the start of such a beautiful thing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be beautiful. So all the grade 10 learners, you better pass maths, physics. We want good marks. Life science, do well now.
Absolutely. Start to learn.
Absolutely. What would you say is the university's aim in terms of the caliber of the medical school?
Well, it's easy to say. We want to train the best medical students in the country. We want to be benchmarked against the best medical schools in South Africa and abroad, because South Africa trains some of the best medical doctors in the world, and unfortunately we train for the export market. Some of our medical doctors will train here and then leave our country to go and work abroad. So we simply want to train best medical students in South Africa.
And while I was busy doing my research, I found out that there's some facilities that are going to be built for the medical school. Please bring us into that.
Yes. So because Klerksdorp Hospital became the primary clinical training platform, which means you can only train medical students linked to a very specialized hospital. So they can get exposure to all these different kinds of diseases and treatment. That gave us the idea that we have to be able to provide accommodation and facilities in Klerksdorp and Tupong. That will be there, a building to each hospital.
Yes.
But then we have to house them in Potch as well. So in Potch there will also be, that will be the third building, will be the final year. They will move around the province. So we expect 3 new buildings in the province or in the district, and 1 new building in Potchefstroom. And we've started with the construction.
Yes.
Yes.
How's it going?
So it's our first month of construction, and the team now has to excavate 3 meters of soil.
Sure.
It's a massive site. They have to excavate 3 meters of soil, and they have to bring in from Matlosana a different soil quality to be able to carry the weight of this building. So we are now in the excavation phase.
Yes.
I will go to the site again tomorrow. So there's at this stage absolutely nothing but a very big dream. Nothing but a dream standing.
Can I come with you just one of the
Absolutely.
days? All right.
You will come with me, we'll give you a hard hat, and we will go to the construction
Please,
site.
I would love that. I also wanted to ask, so what available support will be there for the students who will be, taking this great course?
Yeah. So students, the demand is high. We will have, in addition to what's already there, 2 dedicated success coaches to help students with mental resilience and grit. And we will also have the financial support through bursaries, a lot of high-tech teaching, learning support. When they arrive, they will get their arrival pack, which is all the nice medicine goodies, the scrubs and the stethoscope. But it's also a tablet guiding them through the whole process of teaching, learning, dedicated staff. And then what makes this different is these students will have contact with patients from year 1.
Okay.
So it's not as if they will do only anatomy and physiology and biochemistry and physics and those kinds of subjects in year 1, 2, and 3, but they will feel the reality of becoming a doctor and working with patients from year 1. And putting students in that role implies that we have to prepare them. They must have frequent meetings with a mentor, and we have to look after our students through proper accommodation, proper nutrition, some resting time. These students don't have the time to go and play rugby or soccer or go to movies with other students because they have to study. So they become quite socially isolated.
Yes.
And so you have to take good care of them, have to have a good relationship with them, refer them to the success coaches to check in regularly. And especially if our learners coming from quintile 1, 2, and 3 schools, being away from a village, being on a campus, being away from your support structure, all these are stressors. That's not always good for a student's mental health. You can be very smart, brain smart. Now we have to teach you to be heart and hands smart, which is a different type of streetwise that we don't. So we have to build this into the program. We're going to start off the first 6 months when they enroll at the university. It's going to be a 6 months preparatory period,
Sure.
getting them into the ropes of starting to feel and think like a doctor.
That's beautiful. It starts then. First year.
It starts
We're
then.
not waiting for third year. From the get-go. You have to live it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, you have to. Being a doctor is embodying this compassion for people, become
Yeah.
part of a fraternity, and but staying humble. The best way
Absolutely.
to stay humble is to show people where health happens in homes.
Sure. Who plan on doing medicine. Some of them think they want to, but they don't know. They're not too sure. What advice would you give them, especially also when it comes to their academics, the academic records?
So I think the first advice is to choose the right subjects. Most medical schools in South Africa requires mathematics, life sciences, physical sciences, and English. And a great matric certificate is essential because there's such a high demand. So make sure that you select the right subjects. But then also people have a television idea about being a doctor or working in hospitals, which is not real life. And that is in public hospitals and in public clinics. Go and see if you are comfortable with that emotional burden that you will have to work with. Spend time with medical doctors to ask questions. And then, of course, we cannot start to market our degree yet officially, but there are 2 ways of getting entry into a medical school.
Okay.
So if your dream is you applied in high school, but you did not get entry, it's not the end of your dream. Just if you are ambitious and passionate, then go and study a BSc degree or pharmacy, get entry into university, but do well. Apply then as you study to medical schools, so you can apply.
Yeah.
And WITS also has a graduate entry program.
Okay.
With some of you that listens today that really want to become a doctor, but you are already a graduate, even for you, there's access. And we will also cater for graduates to enter with our post-school leavers in the same class to study medicine.
That is beautiful, right? Because I think a couple of days ago, I came across a video on TikTok and this other lady was saying, I didn't really do so well, but I had to take a different route and now I found myself in medical school.
There you go.
And just to briefly touch on the different kinds or different fields in medicine, because a lot of people tend to, I just want to ask, I think maybe also personally.
Long journey.
Okay.
So, the general duration to study medicine at varsity is 6 years.
Okay.
And then after that 6 years, you will go in for 2 years internship in a public hospital. After those 2 years, you'll go in for 1 year community service at a public hospital. So now that's already 9 years.
Yes.
So it's 9 years of study. Now you can register as a general practitioner.
Okay.
Then you have to, if you want to specialize and become the pediatrician or become the dermatologist, you have to apply to go into an internship position.
Okay.
Which means that you get appointed as an intern. Interns are doctors, specialists in training. And that's approximately 4 to 6 years then.
Sure. Of internship.
As a registrar
Sure.
to actually specialize in. So it's 6 years undergrad training, 2 years internship, 1 year community service, and then 4 years as a registrar towards specialization. So we have to realize when we work with specialists that they had 13, 14 dedicated years of studying to be able to provide us this service that we get.
Yeah. Now it's making me feel bad because we need to appreciate them more, right?
Yes.
More than we actually do.
Yes.
Sure, that's a lot of years.
Yes. And they are valuable, the most valuable contributor in our health system. And they work closely with the multidisciplinary team and especially the nurses. But we have to appreciate our doctors. They've walked a very long journey to be here, to be able to work in hospitals and clinics for our patients.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying this chat. If I had the time, I would get in. Really are not privy to the information, and some people dream of careers, but they don't really want, and then they find out later on in life that, hey man, I don't actually like this. So what kind of, or what would you advise a young person who would want to later on in life get into research? And let's base it with health, because we're talking about the medical school today.
Good. Yeah, so usually we give these broad categories of you first go and study to become a health professional.
Okay.
Today we talk about medicine, but it can also be pharmacy, it can also be nursing, it can be dentistry. Become a health professional.
Okay.
Then you understand health and you understand the health system, research, and in helping postgraduate students doing research. And the career path for that research usually is a master's degree.
Okay.
So you just have to you just look in the mirror tonight and you say, girl, I've got a long way to go because I have to do a master's degree. And then you go into research. If those of you out there, you know who you are. You just have this interest in research. That is a whole career path, because research can be done at a higher education institution like a university, at private organizations. There are corporate companies that pay for R&D, for new products.
Okay.
And you can have research being based in laboratories, or you can have research just as an office job. Or for me, my research is people in communities. And that's a very lively kind of environment, and
Yes.
a wonderful office to be in, to work with people and their everyday lives. But research also requires you to learn a new language. Research is a language by itself, research career.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Next time you go for a visit on the site, I'm definitely tagging along. I can't wait. And we're really super excited to finally have a medical school in the Northwest Province. A huge thank you to the Northwest University for making sure that this happens. All right?
Yeah.
And soon we'll have you back in studio again when now the applications for the medical school will be opening and everything else.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, because this is, thank you to Aghanang, because this is the medical school that will be visible in our streets,
Yes.
in our households, in our clinics. And it will be wonderful to know that our communities welcome our students.
Yes.
And contribute to their training. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Until next time, any closing remarks?
Well, I think the closing remarks is that although it's cold outside and it seems like we're going to have a cold week, complain so easily about conditions of hospitals and clinics, but sometimes just look for those warmness that you will find there in people and in events. It's there. You will find them. We have good doctors and nurses out there.
Thank you so much, Prof. It was a lovely chat, very fruitful. We learned a lot. And if you missed the interview, it is up on our app. The name of the app is Saranang FM if you don't already have it. We were talking to Prof. Petra Besta. Thank you so much. It's also up on our Facebook page. The name of the page is Saranang FM, and make sure to check it out. Show your younger siblings, if you know, when you ask them, what do you want to do? I want to be a medical doctor. Show them or let them listen to this interview. It will be, to their benefit. And thank you once again for your time. Really appreciate it. When we get back, we will be closing off the conversation of the day. Stick around, don't change the frequency. I will be with you in just a minute.